some of the endemic plant species of Jamaica. So that was funded by the Global Environmental Facilities Small Grant Fund. And a follow-up to that was the rainwater harvesting and composting toilet project.
More than 108 hectares is under sustainable land management through reforestation or improved farming techniques which avoid malpractices such as deforestation, overuse of inorganic inputs, fertilizers, fungicides, insecticides to name a few, and slash and burn agriculture. This also increased the potential for soil conservation and carbon sequestration.
We work very closely with the Small Grants Program here in Jamaica on a number of our projects. We are co-financiers on those projects through a formal memorandum of understanding and arrangement. The projects that we do have been making great impact throughout Jamaica on the ground, as well as hopefully in some of the boardrooms around Jamaica, and hopefully we will continue to make that kind of impact internationally and nationally.
And we cover 50 kilometer radius of Christiana, and of course I was born and grown in the area, and I'm happy that the people in the community still accept me, that I can, what I would say like a renaissance of the community, coming from Irish potato, looking at other crops. So we want a rebirth of our community using protected agriculture. What are the crops that can be grown in the greenhouse? So everybody starts out with tomatoes and sweet peppers, cucumbers, lettuce. Those are the 4 major crops grown in the greenhouses worldwide. But we have added to that, we have started looking at vertical gardening. We have started using different potting medium. Matter of fact, our most recent potting medium was from a challenge at a workshop. One person that was anti-greenhouse actually asked a question, what are we going to do with all this plastic and mesh after 5 years when they are overused? And I was challenged and I came back. We have cut them up into small bits, and we now have plants growing as good as it grows in perlite from plastic and mesh used from the greenhouse. So we think that is big and it makes a big difference. We are now doing vertical gardening. We are trying bamboo, but it is proven a little expensive. We are using used PVC pipes that are damaged. And what we are doing is really giving the plant legs, because the plants that do well in the greenhouse are those plants that can use the height of the house. The tomatoes, no problem. We prune them, they grow up. So in the greenhouse, you could have a tomato plant being 35 feet tall. Just that it will be running on the ground and you just keep 1 meter in the air at all times. Now, we see that for row crops like cabbage and lettuce and those crops, it wouldn't be very attractive to do it that way, so we are giving them legs. We think that it could be a solution for Scotch bonnet peppers that are suffering from being grown outside. We could now put them inside. One of our most recent achievement is growing ginger under protected agriculture in the greenhouse. And that one is mind-boggling, because when a farmer is happy at 8-1, we are seen as much as 80-1. And we are excited about that. We want that to be validated by the research station at Bordless. They visited and we think that we are on the right track, and that could make a big difference. So Irish potatoes and ginger, maybe our greenhouses soon will be producing planting material just for those crops, so that the people in the community can benefit. Hurricane Dean it was. For about a week we had no electricity. That means if you have pumps inside, you can't work. And the drippers need at least 20 psi to operate. So what we did, we begged around, and GF and PSDP were willing to assist us. So we built a catchment tank, well, not a catchment, a storage tank on top of the hill. It's about 80 feet high. And if our maths is right, that's about 30 psi or just about that. So that's more than enough to run the drippers. So we use the pump when the sun is shining, we fill the pond on top, the water returns by gravity and irrigate the plants. So we're no longer dependent on JPS to provide current for that. So we consider that as very important.
I monitor the several projects that are negotiated with the international donor community, the projects that are negotiated with the UNDP and UNICEF and several other organizations. The small grants program to us is very, very important because they have been doing projects and implementing projects that would normally not be supported by our bigger donors. But they're doing significant work at the community level and they have really helped the communities. They're doing really good work in promoting our environment priorities in the country. And I do support the program.
We started from a small tunnel house where our success wasn't good inside there. We had a lot of problems. Street was so low and very hot. So we ventured in these bigger greenhouses where we can produce better crops inside there, like tomatoes and garden egg and sweet pepper. Now we have only tomatoes here now. And as you can see, since December we start reaping tomatoes and we have gone more than 4,000 pounds already. We reap like 450, 500 pounds per week from these trees.
For a long time, we have made several attempts to manage the land for better utilization. And it was not until in some years ago that we saw an advertisement by the GEF small grants project that we decided to make an application. I must commend them for the assistance that they gave to us. And the process was quite a detailed one, because in addition to meeting with the panel dealing with the project applications, they saw how viable it was and how important it was for us to utilize the lands for the school. And they gave us whatever assistance, technical assistance in terms of developing the project to an acceptable level. This project is critical and it is perhaps one of the best examples of collaboration between agencies. It has been a very exciting project because why it was exciting that part of the application was for stone barrier to terrace the lands, which proved to be very expensive. And we were able to introduce an innovative approach called the tile bonding. And this is basically just go around, find the tiles that were just lying idly by, which was also presenting a health risk. And we were able to get expertise to use tiles as a method of conservation. To stop the soil erosion from the hillside.